September 1857. A powerful steamship fights for survival in the middle of a hurricane, carrying one of the greatest treasures in American history. Over $2 million in California gold, enough to shake the entire U.S. economy. Hundreds of passengers prayed. Some clutched bags of gold. Others threw it away, realizing it meant nothing against the power of the sea. Within hours, the ship vanished beneath the Atlantic Ocean. And for 131 years, the treasure known as the Ship of Gold rested in darkness, 8,000 feet below the surface. This is the story of the SS Central America. But to understand this tragedy, we must go back to where it all began. Gold has fascinated humanity for thousands of years, but few discoveries transformed a nation like California in 1848. At Sutter's Fort near Sacramento, a carpenter named James Marshall noticed something shining in the water. A tiny metallic glimmer. He reached down and picked up a gold flake. That moment changed American history forever. News spread like wildfire. Gold in California. Within months, people from all over the world abandoned everything to chase unimaginable wealth. America had entered gold fever, and soon that gold would need to travel east. By the 1850s, steamships offered the fastest route from California to New York. Passengers traveled by ship to Panama, crossed the jungle by railroad, then boarded another ship bound for the East Coast. And this route carried something else besides passengers. Gold, massive amounts of it. Freshly minted coins from the San Francisco Mint. Gold dust, ingots, bullion. The wealth of the California gold rush was flowing eastward, fueling the American economy, and no ship carried more treasure than the SS Central America. Which brings us to August 20th, 1857. Hundreds of passengers boarded the SS Sonora in San Francisco. Hidden within the cargo was over $1.6 million in gold. Thousands of freshly minted double eagles. After crossing Panama, they boarded the final ship home, the sidewheel steamer SS Central America, commanded by the legendary Captain William Herndon, one of America's finest naval officers. At first, the voyage seemed routine, but that was about to change. Days into the voyage, the weather changed. A breeze became a strong wind. The strong wind became a gale. Then came the hurricane. Towering waves slammed into the ship. By Thursday morning, the SS Central America was trapped in one of the Atlantic's deadliest storms. Rain poured endlessly. The ship rolled violently. Then the worst happened. Water began flooding into the vessel. Leaks formed around the drive shaft. Windows shattered. Seawater rushed below deck. Without steam power, the ship could not fight the sea. By Friday morning, the situation was desperate. Captain Herndon gathered the passengers and told them the truth. The ship was in danger. Every able-bodied man was ordered to help bail water. For hours, passengers formed bucket brigades, desperately trying to save the ship. The water kept rising. The engines were failing, and the storm showed no mercy. Then something extraordinary happened. Some passengers abandoned their gold. Bags of coins were dumped onto the floor. The treasure that had driven thousands across a continent no longer mattered. On Saturday afternoon, hope briefly appeared. A rescue brig named Marine appeared through the storm. Captain Herndon immediately ordered women and children onto lifeboats. Then a few minutes after 8 p.m., the end came. A massive wave slammed into the SS Central America. The ship shuddered violently. Timbers cracked. Passengers screamed as the vessel lurched beneath them. Then the great steamship slipped beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Hundreds of men disappeared into the freezing darkness. Captain Herndon remained at his post until the very end. He went down with the ship. By morning, many were dead. The Atlantic had swallowed the ship of gold. But the tragedy didn't end there. The sinking became an economic catastrophe. The ship carried enormous quantities of California gold meant for banks and businesses in the East. When that gold disappeared, financial panic spread rapidly. Banks failed. Businesses collapsed. Historians believe the loss contributed heavily to the Panic of 1857, one of the worst economic crises in American history. And deep below, the treasure waited. For more than a century, the SS Central America rested in total darkness, 8,000 feet below the surface. Many believed the treasure would never be seen again. But in the 1980s, technology changed everything. A team led by scientist Tommy Thompson began searching for the legendary ship of gold. Then in 1988, they found it, exactly 131 years after it sank. What they discovered stunned the world. Gold coins lay scattered across the seabed, perfectly preserved. More than 7,000 double eagles emerged from the darkness. The treasure, once worth $2 million in 1857, would equal roughly $300 million today. And with that discovery came a powerful reminder. The story of the Central America is more than a tale about treasure. It is a story about ambition, hope, risk, and survival. When faced with death, many passengers realized gold cannot stop a storm. More than 425 lives were lost. Captain Herndon became remembered as a hero who stayed with his ship until the end. From the California gold rush to one of the greatest treasure recoveries in history, the SS Central America remains one of America's most fascinating lost legends. A ship filled with dreams, swallowed by the sea, and rediscovered more than a century later.